Panama versus Suez, the two lines that control the world. On the map of the world, we see continents, oceans, borders, nations. But sometimes, history is shaped not by vast lands or great seas, but by very thin lines. Lines carved by human hands. Lines that change trade, power, war, and destiny. Two of these lines stand above all others: the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal, two narrow waterways, yet they control the heartbeat of global trade. Today, we look through these two gates of power and we ask, who really controls the world? In the endless sands of Egypt, the dream to link the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea is ancient. Pharaohs dreamed it, Persians considered it, Romans studied it, Napoleon tried to build it. But the world had to wait until 1869, when French diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps finally brought the idea into reality. Hundreds of thousands of laborers, over a decade of digging, thousands of lives lost. But when the waters finally connected, the world changed overnight. A journey that once required sailing around all of Africa could now be crossed in a straight line. Europe to Asia, in a fraction of the time. Trade exploded, empires strengthened, fortunes were built, and new rivalries began. Because the Suez Canal did not only move ships, it moved power. In 1956, Egypt nationalized the canal, and the world trembled. Britain, France, and Israel invaded. Oil markets shook, economies panicked. The message was clear: whoever controls Suez controls the trade between East and West, and every time the canal closed, the world economy felt the shock. Now we turn west, to the rain-soaked jungles of Central America, and a narrow land bridge known as Panama. At the dawn of the 20th century, the world was industrializing. Navies were rising, trade routes were becoming global. And the United States decided the Atlantic and the Pacific must be connected. But unlike Suez, Panama was not flat. There were mountains, there were tropical storms, deadly diseases, and the two oceans were not at the same level. So engineers created one of the greatest innovations in human history, the lock system. Ships would enter massive chambers of water and be lifted up through some mountains, as if rising to cross from one sea to another. In 1914, the canal opened, and America gained a new form of power: the ability to move fleets between two oceans, to shorten trade routes, to dominate maritime logistics. Panama became the center of the Western Hemisphere, not just a waterway, but a strategic masterstroke. Go to today, let's compare the two. The Suez Canal is a straight sea-level passage. Ships simply move forward, no lifting, no steps. It connects Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. And it is the main artery of global oil and energy trade. If the Suez Canal stops, Europe feels the shock immediately. The Panama Canal is very different. It uses massive lock systems that literally lift ships over land, like a staircase between two oceans. It connects the Pacific and the Atlantic, and it is the core of American and Asian container trade. If Panama closes, the America-Pacific supply chain breaks. Two narrow waterways, but the power they hold is enormous. Small lines on the map, yet they control the movement of nations. Each canal is small on the map, but massive on the world stage. They are not just waterways, they are pressure points of global power. In 2021, the container ship Ever Given ran aground in the Suez Canal. For 6 days, the canal was blocked. Just 6 days, but the world lost over $9 billion in trade. Energy prices spiked. Supply chains collapsed. The world was reminded, global trade is fragile. Panama faces another crisis, not war, not politics, but climate. Drought has reduced water levels. Fewer ships can cross each day. The message is the same. The world depends on two narrow lines, and those lines are vulnerable. China is planning an alternative canal in Nicaragua. If completed, it could change global influence overnight. Meanwhile, Russia is preparing for the melting Arctic to open a northern sea route, a new highway through once frozen waters. The battle for trade dominance is no longer only on land. It is shifting to canals, straits, and ocean corridors. In the future, wars may not be fought with tanks or aircraft, but with control of sea lines. Key: the Suez Canal, the gate of the Old World, the Panama Canal, the key of the New World. Two lines carved into the earth, but their influence reaches the whole planet. Power does not always belong to the largest empires or the biggest armies. Sometimes power lies in the narrowest of places. And in the great global struggle for dominance, it is these canals that hold the world's breath. This story is not over. It is only beginning. In the trade war of the 21st century, will Suez prevail, or will Panama? Or perhaps, is a new canal rising? If you enjoyed this story, there are many more ahead. Subscribe, stay tuned, and we'll meet again in the next chapter.